Hello everybody, welcome for a small live coding session. This time we will be looking at our Uno gallery samples, kind of improving some stuff. So it's going to be a light one, a little bit lighter than the previous ones. And I actually don't have an exact plan what I will do in this session. So we'll just leave it up to chance and leave it up to, the moment to see what we will do. But in the meantime, I already started here to build Uno Platform Gallery on Android, so it's up and running. I'll just check if we're on the scale rendering. Yeah, scale rendering. The good way to kind of notice that we're on scale rendering is that these are these carets that are based on WinUI. You can see that that kind of gives away that we're doing scale rendering, not native ones. But yeah, we're on the scale rendering. So the thing is that some of our samples are disabled on platforms where they shouldn't be, and some are actually enabled on platforms where they should be enabled, and so on. So it's kind of not correct here. So we'll have to fix those things a little bit. For example, here media player element, I think it's not showing up on some platforms where it should be showing up, and so on. So we'll just try to make it a little bit better here. And yeah, some other stuff probably, because I see we're still using window.current, which is a little bit outdated approach. So yeah, we'll find some things to work on here. So maybe let's actually do this first, because I think that when we get rid of window.current, everything will break, and we don't want that. So one of the things that has changed from going from UWP to WinUI is that they removed all those get for current view and .current APIs, because they were not correct. Because in a multi-window application, there's just one. There is not a current window. There can be multiple current windows. So they kind of removed those things and made it support multi-platform scenario, multi-window scenarios better. But with that comes the fact that all these APIs are no longer actually valid, and we are keeping those in Uno Platform for now at least, so that we don't break people. But the .current window is actually just the initial window, not it's only pointing to the initial window. So if I close it and I have another window open, window.current will be null, which doesn't make sense. And that's why we want to kind of point people away from window.current, and that's what we will do here. So I will just delete this custom code that was specific to Uno, and I think that should help us fix this issue. It should be maybe it should be just this, just removing the window.current. And actually, let's search for window.current in all of the application. Maybe we'll find more appearances. Yes, we did. So there is this dispatcher queue initializing the analytics service. So that we will need to move this away. And there is the same thing here. Okay, so those are kind of analytics going on there. We will need to get rid of this. Okay, so for this one, it's gonna be easiest, I guess, because we are navigating from a sample or to a sample. So what we can do, and get for current thread, we just get the dispatcher queue for the current thread, and I guess we will be able to do the same thing in here as well. I'll just discard the result. And this one, that one is a little bit worse, because I'm not sure if the dispatcher queue will be initialized at that time. We'll have to check that, but otherwise this could be it. And so we have gotten rid of the current property on window. Hello MCNets, nice to see you again. So let's see, get for current view. Those are actually not correct either. So this is shell.get for current view. Oh, okay, so this is just getting the instance of shell. As long as there is just one window, that's okay. But if we support multiple windows, that would be a broken assumption. So what we can do here is we could go up from the current frame and kind of go up the tree to find the shell that this specific page is associated with. I see that's happening here for multiple instances. So what we could do is adjust this somehow. Let's just run it to see if we didn't break anything so far, but it should be okay here. Yes, we are. So this is okay. We are still able to switch themes. So basics are working. So let's go back to this. And let me check the same thing on WebAssembly as well, just to see if we didn't break the analytics. Yeah, Visual Studio doesn't want us to switch targets easily. Right, build will take a bit. So today I'm just checking Uno Gallery just to see what we can improve. There are some samples missing on some platforms, and there are some things that could be improved. So I'm just trying to get those things better. Overall, for example, I think for WebAssembly version, we're not having the media player samples maybe. Yeah, those are not there. So things like that are actually supported now, but we don't surface them in the gallery. Plus, kind of improve the gallery overall. That's the goal for today. It's gonna be a shorter session, but hopefully still fun. So we will see what happens. Right. So I got this. So this method I don't really like. So I will go here and I will change this to accept a framework element. And I will just go up from that element, get for element maybe, and get up from that element and find the shell in the parent structure. So visual tree helper. Oh, there's X. Find ancestor of type shell. So if okay, maybe what is this? Takes. Oh, okay. So it's just assuming stuff, and we'll have this. So maybe this is just enough. I will have to check this, but I think that this could be enough for us to return the right thing. Okay, all usage is right. So we'll have to replace this by get for element this. And the same thing we will have to do for all the cases. So get for element this, get for element that. There's probably some shortcut to do this everywhere, but okay, I will try to replace it everywhere, but there might be cases where this is not actually, there is no this as a framework element, so we'll see. Here for current view, this, okay, 15 occurrences. So let's try to build it and maybe we'll get some error somewhere. But it seems all those instances are inside of pages, so it's all good. And we can just check if it worked out well. So if I go to one of those samples, what is this? Bottom bar sample. What is this one? It's nested, so let's see, where is it used? Tab bar sample. Tab bar. This is probably in toolkit. Yeah, toolkit, tab bar sample, show full screen sample, and we are here. So will this work? So we get, yeah, it seems it works. So yeah, we're navigating back. It's all looking good. So we improved this part. So we now actually could have a button to open a secondary window, maybe. Just try that. So I'll make a commit with the changes that I want. So first off, yes. So fix. I will make a branch. Improvements in general. So avoid window.current, and then we have, seems there was a broken formatting somehow as well. So avoid get for current view. I will do that everywhere. Nice. All right, so that's this one. Now, what we have next? We have the samples. Let's see the sample. Okay, this one. Okay. Let's try to do the open new window thing. It seems fun, so I'll just try to see what happens. It might break everything, but we'll try. So we could do it on top of that button theme. Switch. Dark theme. Okay, toggle. This is the one. So we have a grid. Okay, so I will put it here, stack panel. Whoa, okay. Don't like that. Let's see if it's... there is no hot reload here. Why is it not here? Could do that though, right? So if debug and if main window use studio, it's not there. Interesting. Huh. Why is it not there? Why do we not have studio here? That is surprising. It should be there. Well, let me see, for example, this one. So this is a syntax, right? I'm not forgetting things. Yeah, it's Use Studio and it's in... Which assembly is that? It's UI Hot Design Client. Why is it not there? It's indeed not there. Huh. Disable hot design. Okay, if I enable it, will it show up? Not sure why it was disabled explicitly, but this could help. Okay, it's getting compiled in. Good. And it's now there. So that's good. We can try again. And here we go. So let's try to use this and we will add a button there. We'll add a button to open a new window and we'll add it. Where do I add it? Oh, I need to open the template for that. It's in here. This is the layout. This is the frame. Navigation view. I need to open the pane. Pane header. Is this it? Children. Children. I see. So this is the stack panel, and in there should be a toggle button. Yes. So I can add a button there. Yes, and that button could have some kind of open window text for now. Let's align it to the right and I'll improve that design, but for now it's okay. So this button will allow me to open a new window. And let's implement that part here. Oh, right. Is this some kind of issue in the latest update of Visual Studio? It seems to show up often. I'm not sure why, but it's pretty annoying. And actually we can do UWP. This application, this character map UWP is super useful. I use it all the time. New window is this glyph, and I hope we have it in our font file as well. Let's see. Yes, it's there. So this application is super useful to browse through various glyphs in font icons, font files, or just browse font files to see what's in there, because it just makes It makes it much easier to find what you need and also get all the right syntaxes. So if I do this one, you can see there is like font icon directly, that I can copy, but there's also other formats that you can take, like C# formatting of that same thing and so on. Super useful thing. If you haven't tried it yet, definitely a cool application. So button, content, this one, actually we don't have to do this. And then we can try to implement the click handler. Window, click. Open new window, click. And I will just remove this, we don't need it. Automatically sets the font family to the right thing. And I will just align this to horizontal alignment right and vertical alignment bottom, so it's the same as before, and just add spacing 8, for example. So, and I would like it to be reversed, like have the button on top and then the toggle, and again horizontal alignment right, because it's going to be a smaller item. So this button will be opening a new window, and I will do that here. So I will do secondary window, new main window, and I will need to initialize it. So essentially I will need a method here to create a new window. So window, create window, right? Yeah, let's do it like this. Initialize window, 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 and this will do the initialization. So basically do this code on that given window. So window.content, and we'll set it to a new shell. But it's setting reusable field potentially, so I don't like that. But anyways, we'll see what happens when we run it on that. So initialize window, and here we'll do so we will call this one from our event handler. So so we'll create a window, and then we will initialize it. So app instance initialize window, secondary window, and we'll see what happens if we then activate it. Pretty simple, but we'll see what happens, because the whole application was built under the premise that there will be just one window. So if we now add this functionality, it might break everything completely, but it didn't. Although, because you can see it's now kind of navigating in the wrong window. So if I click here, it's navigating in a different window than I actually am in. And if I do it here, it's navigating in this one. So yeah, it's not ideal. So let's see what the navigation. All right. Yeah, we're overriding the shell here. There are now multiple shells. So let's see what happens if we delete this. And let's see what happens. So if I delete this, I can just simplify it, change this to do initialize window, main window. And there was a lot of red in here. So shell navigate to. So what is this doing? Where is it coming from? So it's calling from here. And this is so shell navigate to. Okay, so to get the shell, I will just get, I'll do a method private shell get window shell. So window, it will return window content as shell, and otherwise it will throw. That's all good. So this method will give us the shell of the main window. So main window shell. Although we might not want this exactly, we need to figure out how to allow this for the other shell as well. Where is this coming from? So this is in the shell itself. So we need to pass in a shell inside. So now this method can just use the past instance of the shell. So that's good. What is the, so this, now this one, I can also pass this and also pass this here. So now all of these are using the updated version. So this one now requires us to pass in a shell. And this one is odd. Where is it called from? So it's called from there. It's called from here. Okay, so this is in window. This is an app, but this is never. Okay, from branch.js. So in this case, I will get the window shell. This is a static, right? No, it's not a static one. Okay, so then we need to do Apple app instance main window get app instance get window shell for app instance main window. So this will give us the right shell, and then we can navigate to it. So shell, and this will navigate to shell. Okay. Let's see what happens now. So we need to pass the parameter everywhere. So shell here, shell here, shell here, and we should be good now. So there we have the shell that we can pass in and navigate to the sample on WebAssembly. Then we have this that builds the actual shell. So instead of storing that field, we will make it local variable. We'll navigate to it. All is going to be good here. And what do we have here? So it's WebAssembly. We can fix it afterwards. On current sample backdoor changed. Backdoor. Never knew there was a backdoor. Interesting. So, so this is coming from. We're registering to the. So the sender here is the shell. So shell equals sender as shell. Oh, I can actually throw if it's not the right one. Shell, and again shell here, and then we do the navigation. Nice, good. So we're slowly getting rid of all those ugly underlines. What is this one? So this is navigation view, item invoked. We can find the shell, so shell equals tree helper funnest shell. We find the shell in the parent tree of that navigation view and navigate to it. And then we have navigate to all pages. Okay, so this one will be using the main window shell. So shell for main window, and we will do this navigation. Right, that seems good. We have some more. So, right, we will have to fix the WebAssembly 2, I guess. What is it complaining about here? Ah, right, because it's like this, so I need to do it here. So shell navigate to, let's switch to browser wasm, and we will see what happens here. So it's nullable, this is nullable. This is object, right? So why is it complaining? Right, so this way, and what I want to do here is to get the shell, and with what is this one doing? It's their sample filtered by, so we are, so you can pass in the shell for this one, shell, and then we use the shell in here. Okay, seems good. Now let's open the desktop app again, and we still are not completely done. One more change to be done here. So, yep. Overview sample. We need to get the shell from here, so I will do Visual Tree extensions, get ancestor, find ancestor shell for this one, and then call it on it. I see like most of these methods should now be moved to shell itself because it's not useful to have them in app XAML CS, but anyways, it seems that this works. Now navigating to two different samples works, and we have multi-window Uno Gallery application. Very nice. Cool. So we got something. That's nice. Can we, oh, switching the theme will be synchronized, it seems. For now, yeah, because we actually don't support requested theme on a specific UI element, so now it's like application wide, so the switching of themes is synchronized across windows. So, well, and that's not a big deal, but we should make sure that the button synchronizes. But the cool thing is that now it works, and we have so we have enable hot design, and then we have now multiple windows. Good, so we now have multi-window Uno Gallery app, at least the basics of it. And now we will do something else again. So how do we search for the samples? That's what I want to learn, because there I don't see any like list of samples or anything, because it should be there somewhere. And some of the samples should be enabled on specific platforms or disabled on specific platforms, so we need to figure out how that works. So media player. Here we go. So this is excluding media player element samples, which we now can have everywhere. We can do media element here, and we can even do web view here. So let's enable those. So what is your problem here? It's still loading. Okay, so now we have media player and web view, although it's complaining about something here. Okay, we'll see what happens when I build it. But the cool thing is that we can now get rid of this because it's everywhere, and web view. Okay, there's no web view sample, but it should be there. So why is it not showing up? Okay, it's disabled here, but we can enable it here. Let's search for Skia. There might be some more additional samples that are disabled, but not really, it seems. That's good. So let's try to run this on desktop. We'll see what happens. This error is intriguing, but it seems it runs. So let's do web view. Okay, oops, interesting. Seems like we have a scaling issue. I see. It's probably this issue was actually fixed in latest releases, so it should hopefully be fixed when we update the latest Uno, but media player elements, it should be as well there. Good. So
today we're going to be looking at how you can get started creating an Uno platform.
This blinking thing is weird. Seems like there is some sizing issue that's happening here, but we can try to see if it's happening on WebAssembly as well. I think this was actually fixed in the latest dev branch, so we will be able to confirm that. And what's next? Well, next I was thinking we could add some additional samples, because we have now some additional controls like SK 2D element and 3D element, which we could add as a sample specifically for Skia targets. So that could be a nice thing to do. And we could take my Unexpected APIs application that already has those samples, kind of steal them for Uno Gallery. So where are we? Web view, right? So web view, yeah, it's showing up here. Because there is a course blocking us from showing that Uno platform website on HTTP. It should be working on HTTPS, but this is just what it is. And it should be hopefully working when we deploy the same application to Azure. So that should be fine, but let's see what we do with a sample of WebView. So media player element, yeah, okay, so this seems to be working.
Today we're going to be looking at...
Right, it seems to be working, so that's good. Right. Okay, so that we have this done. We have enabled media player element WebView, enable WebView and media player element samples. I guess I will later subdivide this to multiple PRs because it's a lot of unrelated things so far, but still. Okay, so we did this now. So what's next on the agenda? Let's run that application again. And I will open up the Unexpected APIs application as well, just as a side to it. So Unexpected APIs, open that and open that here. And here, okay. I will probably move this one to be vertically aligned differently. So let's do that. Open new window. Let's do it like this. Stop it. So row spacing. No, I will do a grid and I will align this to the top, vertical alignment top, and then vertical line this. Or actually we can simplify this completely, so just get rid of this grid and have it like this. So the toggle button will be at the bottom, so vertical alignment bottom, horizontal alignment right, and then we have the new window toggle that will be okay like this. That will be on the top. Okay. All right. Good. This is better, although the width is still a little bit big. I think it could be smaller. So can we change it to something like 50? What happens then? Okay, we got, let's see, what was the toggle? Was the toggle width 60? So 60. Ah, okay. Yeah, that's not great. Let's see if I can switch the theme, because there is some padding that's interfering with that. Open. I think it's a padding that's interfering with that design. Oh, that's good. All right, so we have the new window button, then the toggle. All looks good now. All right, so let's adjust the styling. Oh, that's not the right one. This one. All right, and now let's see if we can add additional samples. So here I had the SK Canvas element page, and this one is showing the 2D Skia canvas on the page, and we can enable that by this one and the 3D canvas. So I will enable both, but for this one I need to take this. create a page for it, and I will just steal the basic layout from some simple sample. This one is not that simple. Which one is the simplest? Too many things, just need the bare minimum. I think this one is still quite simple, so let's do this one. So this is the basic simple. We will have oh, actually, we're using Vim and not Vim on the WebView page, and we just have WebView everywhere now, so we don't have to have any platform specifics there. Much better. So, okay. Simplify WebView sample page. Okay, and then we have our Skia Canvas element, so I'll get rid of this. Get rid of that. And on our in our sample application, we have the Skia sample. So where do I put the helper file for that sample? Not sure. Oh. Well, I guess we can put it here. Sample Skia Canvas element. So I will just take that code. Now actually this should be simplified even. So now this check can become if desktop, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, it should be enabled now. So I added this new constant so that you can easily target specifically desktop. Although now this sample should actually work on Skia in general. But it's not. Has Uno Skia, that's the right one? Yeah, I think so. So this one should now be enabled on all of those targets. Nice. Except for Windows. WinUI is a different beast, so it's not enabled there. Okay, so this sample canvas element we have here, and we can take our sample page, the whole content of it. Now we can remove this. And this is a sample page layout, has various properties, and one of them is agnostic. So what's the name of it? Agnostic. Is design agnostic, maybe? Is fluent? I don't know. It's in the accelerometer one, I think. There we have is design agnostic true. Okay, this way we should set it. And then we have design agnostic template in there. Okay. So design agnostic template. I'm not getting any IntelliSense somehow. It seems Visual Studio has kind of given up on helping me here. But we can manage. So let's take most of this code here and put it in here. And it's now not this, but has Skia. That's the check that we need. Alright. Let's get rid of this code. And actually that code can go into the XAML later. And I will find... So I need to create a click handler. And that will do exactly this. And then we need to add it to the SK container. And we can do that in... How do you get the content of it? I think there's a find name usage there. Okay, let's see. Overview page. Version. Yes. So this is a text block inside of the material sample view. So that's what we want here. So I will do find name and get the element. Get element and add it. So I will just immediately cast it to grid and then add it to the children. And this sample now needs to be enabled on specific platforms. So let's do that exactly here. Make it nicer. So Skia Canvas element is a UI component. And then we have documentation for it, so I will search for it. So this is the right one, and actually I call this whole thing wrong because it's supposed to be SK Canvas element, not Skia Canvas element. So let's fix it in File Explorer maybe. It's gonna be simplest. I was always afraid of changing the file name in Visual Studio. It's often just breaks completely and it's all mayhem, so this is gonna be safer. And get rid of this. Oh right, I named this to XAML CS. Nice. Alright, SK Canvas element page, and the name is here correct, and so it's this one, and we are done here. So let's run it on desktop. We'll see if it compiles or we left some error there. Oh, a lot of unrelated things. But the main problem is this one. Sample page layout couldn't be found. Ah, I see. So there is a using, which is these usings I probably need there. Right, that should be better. All right. Good, UI components, SK Canvas element page. Oh, right, I named it page. Okay, so the grid, the container is not showing up. All right, because I'm looking for it too early. It has to be loaded, event. And in there, I can actually do the search. So that's this fixed. And where do we have it? Here. So SK container, and there is the name of the page that's wrong. Okay. Right, it's here and it's here. It's our sample and it's not showing up. So we still have something to fix here. Maybe there is no default size and it doesn't stretch. So that could be a problem. It's getting created. Yeah, there's no height to it. So let's make this 500, for example. Good, so it's initialized and we see the sample now. Good. Next sample, good. It is showing up. All right, so we have the sample, the very basic sample, but we could turn it into something like this. So I will instead take inspiration from this shape page and make it more like it. So it's fun template, data templates. So inside is a XAML display. So that's what I need, but I need something like I need to display the C# code instead, mainly. Okay. So there is the XAML display. Let's give it a unique key. So SK canvas. Basic, and then SK canvas element. So this will allow us to display the XAML, and then we need also to show the C# code that's associated with it. And just to keep the formatting the same, so something like this, and we take the code sample from here. I missed something. I think I did, but I'm not sure what. So, uniclar prefix, right. We need to add the prefix as well. And now maybe all right. So SK canvas element, that's our sample, and it has also XAML that goes with it. So that's definitely an improvement, but it's maybe just a little bit too large. So let's do it 300. Yes, that's better, I guess. Or we can limit it horizontally, which will limit it vertically as well. Oh, or it won't. So min height. 60 or 40. Just make it smaller a little bit. Yeah, this is, I guess, okay. It's enough to show the sample and still be able to see easily the XAML that goes with it, so that's okay. All right. Good. What is this thing? The source is Uno UI, Uno Vin UI. Right. I see. This could be better because we are now using the Uno Vin UI version. And this is actually, I think it's called Microsoft Community Toolkit, right? There was so many renames that I... Oh, it's now again Windows Community Toolkit. But Microsoft Community Toolkit and switch back to Windows Community Toolkit, so that is correct actually. All right. So that's, we have that. So I will just commit my changes. So this one. So this is feed sk canvas elements sample. And I will also add this change. So just source caption. Okay, so we got somewhere at least. What could be nice to have icons for these elements, but there's a lot of them, so I'm not sure what's the most efficient way to do it. Good thing is, actually, what we can try is that the WinUI gallery, which is here, which is open source and it's available on GitHub, is MIT license, so theoretically we could use the same icons they are using. Let's see if we can actually do that. What's the name of that thing? I actually cloned it before, so it's here, and I have it here. Okay, they have a lot of control images already, so I can just take that and put it in here. As sample images. And then the navigation view could generate those images based on the name of the sample page. So let's try what happens if some of them will light up. So navigation view item. What is generating those items? Let's search for new navigation view item. No. So it's data bound to something. Menu items. Ah, here we go. So this is what is getting the samples. Ah, right. So this is the samples and it's getting those glyphs. This is getting the samples inside of the category down. So we have categories, and for categories we have parent item, which is default by default. And if it's not none, so if there is a category, we have to create a parent item and create it, and then we create the items themselves. So for the icon, so if it's null, then we can try to create a bitmap icon based on the same icon. So icon bitmap icon or your iSource and take the essence sample images. And then it's going to be the name, sample name PNG. So what I need, yeah, exactly, just trim the page name from the sample, and that should be it. But we'll see if that actually is the case. And I also need to actually set it somewhere, right? So icon. What's the problem? Icon element, okay. Icon element. Better. All right, let's see what happens. It's just an experiment. Okay, UI components, no, button images, nothing. All right, so it's not there yet. Let's see if I put a breakpoint there. What are we getting for those values? Okay, let's check if... So there is a button, for example, and the page that shows buttons. What is this? Advertising. Sample page. Okay. So maybe all our sample pages and with sample page instead. That would be it. Let's see. Like ideally we would make this a little bit better just to... Okay, it's showing something. Quite a few of them actually, so that's nice. But we don't want them to be monochromatic, so let's do is monochrome, show us monochrome false, and that would be nicer. Nice. Here we go. Thank you, WinUI team, for these nice icons, and that makes the whole thing much nicer overall. So I like that. Just a few of them to fill out, but this is pretty good already. I like it. Acrylic even. That's nice. And we have clipboard. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Right. I like this. Let's get the Uno gallery here. And navigation, view item, icons for WinUI controls. WinUI controls. Good. Okay, so is there something else we could do? I still have about 20 minutes give and take, so I might make some additional improvements here. So what could be improved in here? So I actually think we could, sorry. We could improve the headings of those pages, because all those are kind of bland. And it's not that cool, not that nice looking. So let's see how the default template looks like. It's getting from here, sample page. Simple page layout is the sample page layout, sample page layout, XAML. Yeah, that's this one. So the style is here. Whoa, a lot of nesting there. So if I go here to this one, for example, that's just header or breadcrumb bar, that's a good one. So breadcrumb bar, and there is a header. Headline large is the style. So that's a probably style coming from Material Design. So let's try to just do font weight light. Can we get here maybe? It's layout, so I cannot really get the, so, let's do header template. So this is definitely too large. So title large. So caption medium. Body medium, well, body small even. Like a description shouldn't be this large, right? So it doesn't make sense to keep it this big, and this can be like this, and this can be also small. So let's see what happens if I save this. Yeah, it's this is better a little bit. Maybe this is now too small, but so source. The spacing of this is too big, but yeah, there's like huge margin there. So actually we can make this spacing based, remove the margins. Right. You can see that I'm not the designer, so I'm just trying to make this look a little bit better, but it might not be perfect, and it's not going to be perfect, I'm pretty sure, but still, you know, just a little bit more, a little bit cleaner look would be nice. Yeah, that's much better. I mean, previously it was just too cramped, too huge. Everything was too huge, so we would like to have this nicer. So the default sample page layout, header template. So technically even the source could be on the right side and this on the left side. So we could do a grid, make it grid column definition with a star, column definition with auto, and now have the description text block in the first column and this have in the column 1, so on the right side. Yeah, that seems better. It makes more sense to have it on the right side, kind of explain where the when the specific control is. And then this one could be vertically aligned to the bottom so that it's aligned with the bottom of this right side. Yeah, and now just one more thing is to add some margin afterwards. So this could be having some kind of 16 large margin. Yeah, that could be it. Like, it's not perfect, but you know, just to make it a little bit more user-friendly. Yeah, of course, column spacing. Let's do 16 as well, so that there is space between those two things. Right. Oops. Where did we get this from? Something got nulled up. Interesting. I'll need to grab this as a stack trace because I'm not sure if I will be able to reproduce this again, but let's try it. Interesting error. I was just kind of making the window smaller and it broke. It doesn't happen again. Yeah, it doesn't happen again, but it was pretty weird. Okay, maybe it was due to hot reloads happening, but still. I'll try to reproduce this again later. Okay, so then what we have next? Right. And it looks a little bit better, I think. I mean, not perfect, but still a little bit better, I think. So I will just align it to the top because it seems it might be better looking. And then, where is the header defined? This is the text block for the header. So maybe and the separation between the header and the, it would be nice to have this source information on the top next to the header instead of in line with the description, but I'm not sure if I will be able to simply move that along. Although I could move it down. Okay, this is this one. Interesting. Not sure how to move this one up. I would need it to be outside of that content presenter, but it goes below. Yeah, well, it's at least a little bit better than before, but would still look into that later, I think. But we have still just 8 minutes to go, so there is just some small adjustments that I can do in the meantime. Right, what can we do here? Yeah, right. One thing that I noticed is that when you have just one single style for a control, there is like the header is still showing up, but it's not very useful because you cannot switch between styles. So I'm thinking if it could be removed. I mean, is that useful? I mean, it is useful because for some controls we have only specific styling like material or fluent, so it's worth having that header there for some cases. So yeah, I would probably keep that as it is. I'm thinking if we can do some small quick change still to in those last 7 minutes, but maybe I will just finish up earlier then, because we made quite a progress, I think. This new window button, that's pretty cool. Maybe to make it a little bit less visible, like less annoying there, maybe this could be a better style. So we can try to use this outline button style for the new window button. Some more, because it's kind of too visible now. Let's do this style, and maybe it's gonna be a bit nicer. Yeah, that's better. A bit simpler design there. Yeah, looking good even in a light theme. That's good. One thing that I wanted to do actually, and that could be a quick one, is to set the maximum window size for the window, which is not something we support right now. Minimum window size for the window, which is not something that we support in the current release, but there is a PR that will enable it, and I can enable it at least for WinApp SDK. If that happens, I will try to launch it. Maybe broke something between before due to my changes. There are some APIs, some usings that are not actually working now, and I will fix it by doing as uno skia, and I will need to adjust it namespace as well, but actually go to that now. Okay, it's not set to deploy. Let's do its x64, and this should be uno gallery dot helpers canvas. So this is the new namespace that I will use here. Okay, and then let's launch it again. Okay, it's deploying, so it seems we didn't break everything. Good. Right. We're switching. Our changes are showing up pretty well, so that's good. Let me see if I can open a second window. Yeah, all right. Switching between multiple windows all works pretty well, so that's cool. But I wanted to do the maximum windows, minimum window size. So let's go here. Initialize window. And for the, it's gonna be in the shell maybe. Or maybe you can do it here. Window.appWindow.presenter. So if the presenter is overlapped presenter, which it should be, we can do minimum width and set it to something like 500, because now you can actually make it very, very small, and that's not cool because the design is not built for like 100 pixels wide. So let's just see if that works. Right. Okay, nice. So it's stopping at this window size and not allowing you to go further. So it's something like this we'll add in some next session. But for now, the problem is that in Uno we didn't have this API because it's fairly recent. It was, I think, added in the last WinUI release, and I have a PR for that. Should be somewhere here. Minimum window size, where is it? Ah, this one, yeah. So this one, it's pretty close to be done, and we can actually try to finalize it in the next session. It's only failing on some tests, and I think I added implementation for all platforms, macOS, Win32, WPF, and X11. So it's supported on all the sub targets, just needs to be finalized to pass this test, which is probably because it's islands versus a window. So yeah, we'll make this work. But yeah, I think for now we are done for today. So I thank you all for joining. I hope you enjoyed it and maybe learned something new, or just hanged around with me while I was fighting with Uno Gallery and improving some random things around it. And I will make separate PRs for various of those changes that I did today. So I will create those and we will see when those will get merged. So in the meantime, have a great day, and I think I will see you next week on Monday. So have a good one.